Tropical storm Matthew is now churning in the eastern Caribbean Sea. It has pushed through the Leeward and the Windward Islands, including places around Barbados, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, along with places like St. Lucia and Martinique.
Yeah, and that system will continue to churn in the Caribbean. Meanwhile, look what happened in Virginia yesterday near Bedford County. This is near Roanoke. Just some rain, and look at the hail hitting the ground, Laura. Wasn't the only place where it happened either.
Some of these reports extended south into parts of North Carolina, and north of the severe weather is where we've been dealing with the incredibly heavy rainfall. In fact, some places across parts of Virginia already seeing 5 inches of rain, and we're going to continue to add on to it.
Yeah, we've had flooding around Stafford, Virginia, heavy rain now, Washington, D.C., pushing on northbound, Laura. It is going to be a wet day, a day filled with many delays. You could see that rain band now. Interesting here, the heaviest now, the back edge of the rain is almost, at least the heaviest, almost toward Washington, D.C., and you can see how that extends on south and west to the east of Fredericksburg. Now, this rain will continue to move northward. We may start diminishing the rain a little bit from Washington, D.C. toward Fredericksburg, down toward Richmond here in the next couple of hours, but there's still going to be a few showers around. All right, let's continue to head on northbound. Just a soaking rain around Dover toward Philadelphia. We've also had some flash flood warnings across parts of Maryland and Delaware from the rain that we've already had. You can see for the most part, not heavy rain, just a soaking rain, certainly enough to cause some travel delays if you're heading up the Blue Route. Also, PA Turnpike on westbound toward Harrisburg, Lancaster. You're going to run into that wet weather as we go through the rest of this morning. You can see the dark yellow and orange shading as you head toward Altoona, State College, Pennsylvania, cross Interstate 80. Again, nothing too heavy right now, but keep in mind the rain will be heavy enough for poor visibility and travel delays, whether you're traveling Interstate 81 from Harrisburg toward Hazleton or east-west along Interstate 80 across Pennsylvania. So wet weather is certainly going to continue this morning. Now again, back edge looks as though it is heading toward Washington, D.C., but on northbound Philadelphia into Pennsylvania, Laura, the rain's going to continue. And as we've mentioned, we've seen some big-time rain amounts around Washington, D.C. with some flooding.
In the past 24 hours, look at some of these numbers, Bernie, and folks at home. This is why your street looks like a river. We've had 5.01 inches of rain in Richmond, and anywhere you're seeing that pinkish color show up on the map, we're closing in on a ½ foot of rain in just the last 24 hours. Keep in mind, at some points yesterday morning, it had already been raining through eastern Virginia and toward the Chesapeake. Baltimore to Washington, D.C., now over an inch of rain, and we move northward. Now, it hasn't been raining here quite as long. Harrisburg to York, a ½ inch or better. State College, we'll get a report a little bit later on this morning from the total rainfall, but it is expected to be significant as we move through the next, say, 24 hours with heavy rain moving in from the south. All of these flash flood and flood watches, even some flood warnings now blinking across parts of the Delmarva and into central Delaware. So we are expecting not only slow conditions, say on the Beltway this morning, but also on Interstate 95 as you head south toward Richmond. And if you are heading out to any of the airports this morning, especially Philadelphia International, Baltimore Washington International, and Reagan National, we are forecasting significant delays there. So check ahead, and if you're heading out to pick somebody up, be sure to make sure that everything is running on time. The reason we have all of this is our cool pocket of air aloft associated with this upper level area of low pressure. Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and Northeast all impacted out toward the mid-Atlantic. We're tapping into that Atlantic moisture, so some of that heavy rain, the problem is that it's moving, it's oriented from south to north, and it's moving from south to north. So the same areas see the heavy rain over and over again. In some locations, it's just nuisance rain, but in some areas it could be heavy, and that contributes to the chance for some localized flooding. Now, let's show you the forecast for today. There will be some parts of the area that are dry. In fact, central and northern New England looking quite nice. Albany to Watertown to Burlington, Portland, north to Bangor. Hey, we could even see some sunshine today. Areas in and around Boston. I think more clouds than sun there, Bernie, but we've already seen some breaks developing in that general vicinity. The heaviest rain is back to the southwest.
Yeah, the dry air is winning out in New England, but your time is coming, Boston, New York City. It's just going to be a little bit delayed, more likely tonight into tomorrow.
And you saw that low set to linger into tomorrow and the weekend. So more on that coming up. And also, we're going to be talking tropics here, folks, because we have Tropical Storm Matthew. That is expected to be strengthening across the region.
Yes, that's right, as it moves on west. And boy, look at what happened yesterday.